In the 1950s, the Tennessee State Highway Department planned Interstate 40 segments through North Nashville, home to the city's historic and predominantly black community. The construction of Interstate 40 displaced more than 1,000 black residents, 650 homes, 27 apartment buildings, and 80% of black businesses in Nashville. The value of remaining houses dropped more than 30%, accelerating poverty due to limiting access to city resources and connectivity. And although unsuccessful, citizens in Nashville organized a highway revolt, a common form of mass organizing at the time in which neighbors and cities across the country became activists, fighting against big business and local and state governments and even federal agencies during the era of interstate construction in the United States. Local government leaders in Nashville had been planning to put a highway through the city as early as the mid-40s. In 1957, after working with the firm from New York City, state planners held a public hearing in which they only advertised in white neighborhoods, intentionally kept out of the newspapers, and even had the wrong date on the flyers to ensure people wouldn't show up. By the summer of 1967, North Nashville residents had learned about the plans of the Interstate 40 project that the state had been working on for almost a decade. In response, concerned residents developed the Interstate 40 Steering Committee, which consisted of over 100 people from across the local institutions, businesses, churches, and residents of North Nashville coming together to fight back against highway construction. The group had 3 goals: halt I-40 construction, study the impact of I-40, and create alternative plans that would be best for the community. And in some ways, the group actually met all 3 goals before ultimately being failed by the local and federal court system. Their advocacy resulted in a case that would make its way to the Supreme Court I-40 Steering Committee versus Ellington. While this case was unsuccessful, it appears to have been one of the first racial discrimination lawsuits against a federal agency or state agency administering interstate construction. This would lead to some congressional and administrative reform, including a change to the Federal Aid Highway Act that required a 2-year hearing procedure for citizen participation in all interstate projects. And in 1970, the Uniform Relocation Assistance Act, motivated by stories like Nashville's, drastically expanded the relocation payments available to residents or businesses affected by highway construction. But of course, these wins were too little and too late for the folks that called North Nashville home, and the construction of Interstate 40 would eventually go on to decimate the community and surrounding area. Unfortunately, and too often, our built environment is shaped and developed by people who have no interest in our well-being, livelihood, or culture. Being an activist, organizing, or just showing up to play your part is a small role that we all have to play in order to protect our communities.